If you're a coach and you're looking to get clients from your Facebook group, this is the video for you, because I'm going to go through what I phrase is the Facebook group ecosystem. And it's a really clever, simple system where you surround your prospect. So not only are you nurturing them in your group, but you're going to be nurturing with email, messenger and budget-friendly ads. And I'm going to cover the clarity piece that moves your members from your group into your paid programs. So without any further ado, let's get on with that training. Let me just go through the whole equation with you. So you've got your group members coming in, but it doesn't stop there, okay? Because there's a lot of groups online. There's a lot of people wanting attention. So what we do within our groups is we run workshops. So we don't want to run them too often, but we run workshops, and we're going to run them on subjects that we know there is a pain in our niche. We know, we've done the research, we've spoken to people, we've got on the phone many, many times. We know what pains are in our niche. We know how to solve them. So our workshops are calling out the pains, and some pains maybe get more traction than others. So when we run workshops and we don't get much traction, nobody takes a lot of notice, we know that didn't work, okay? So we're testing all the time, different angles, different triggers. Now those workshops will go inside your group, okay? We'll raise events, and we use, 3 or 4 ways to build momentum to those events, not just using the invite tab. There are very clever ways that I cover not only my $17, but also more one-to-one with my premium students. So you run the workshops, okay? Now those workshops, it's not the be-all, it's not the end of it once you run that workshop. You only have 1 or 2 turn up, okay? And that's a typical, we work in different time zones across the world. So if you've only got 1 or 2 turn up, you should have built buckets of people within your group that are interested in what you do. And in theory, most people in your group should be interested in everything you do, but you're going to get groups of people that are interested in, more interested in that topic than that topic, and more interested in that topic than that topic. So we're going to build up buckets of people, and we're going to start notifying them with clever messages and also sort of tagging feature that this workshop's happened, you paid an interest, we put content out before to let them know the workshop's running, and we basically notify them that workshop's taken place. Now, a really clever tip is that you don't have to send them straight to the workshop. We send them to landing pages that are pixeled, so that we know that, they're going to start seeing ads when we run them, if and when we run them. So those workshops, not only are you going to let people know after the event, but also they can help form your emails. So there's a definite correlation between your workshops and your emails. You can start putting emails together, direct them to workshops. Every time you do a workshop, you're never short of doing the email because you're going to link the two. Okay, so what we're trying to do is get our crowd of people to see us everywhere. So not only you've got like the workshops and emails related, the workshops can be linked with the emails. So you start building like that momentum. Once you start building your list, though that email list will then continually see those workshops that you've done in the past. So when you go live in your group, you don't get a lot of interaction. Just be aware that this is only the very first step of the equation. We're going to actually connect emails to those workshops. We're going to start throwing it out to our email list. That is building in the background with very clever ways. We're building our email list at the same time. And, you've got the right crowd in there, so you know that you're interested. You've found out the pain points. You've connected your emails so that over time, those workshops are going to get more and more interaction. Then we've also got a clever way of pulling out the leads, because your workshop will also pull out leads if it's done in the right way, if you constructed it in the right way, and you've got call to actions, and you know with certain things you do in your workshop who is interested in what you're doing and what you're saying and who's got the pain, and then you know how to not only kind of have a conversation with them on the workshop itself or after, but pull them into Messenger. Now that can be the biggest black hole, the Messenger conversation. It's really hard to talk to someone you don't know, that you virtually know. This is an art in itself, okay? And it almost kind of follows a certain sequence. But the idea is that not only their email, but you're bringing them into Messenger, the leads that you know already and waiting and wanting to know more about what you do and what your solution is. So the Messenger conversation is a really important part of this equation. And I've made mistakes in the past. I've kind of messaged everybody when I first started. I've made awful mistakes. I've cut and pasted stuff and it looked really salesy. We've all done it, But there is an art to this, and it's just being as natural as having a cup of coffee with somebody. But there is a very specific way that we follow up, and I use a bit of software to track who's at what stage, who wanted what. So I know to follow up, okay, with my bit of software, not routing through Messenger, trying to find who said what and when 3 months ago. I've got little buckets of people with my little bit of software, and I cover that in not only the $17 a month program, but the premium program. So we've got a Clever Messenger sequence. We've got a routine every day that we follow up so many every day. You know, did they want the workshop? How do they find it? And there's a messenger conversation. So on top of your workshops, your emails direct into workshops, you know, your interaction within your group, really, you shouldn't be posting in your group more than once a week. You have an evergreen post, okay, that sits at the top of your group, but really, you cannot be posting in your group every day, because the Facebook algorithm isn't going to give you all its attention on every single post. So we're going to nurture that one post once a week, and that's all the engagement you're going to need, okay, to pull out 5 to 10 clients a month. I guarantee you don't need any more than that. But what is really, really important is this clarity piece. Now, when I audited not only my clients, she's a premium client of mine, but I audited her group. She's a new client to me, but I also audited somebody in my free group, because I put a bit of an offer out there saying, look, free audit, grab it while you can. So there's no clarity piece. So when people come into your group, they don't know what you do, who you help, what result you get. So a lot of people can't monetize groups. They can't pull clients out because the clients don't know what to do. And if you don't make it really clear from day one what you do in your group, how you help, who you help, what result you get, what your program is, there's no way they can migrate out your group. Okay, so that clarity piece can be 15, it can be 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15, it just depends on how long it takes to get your message across. But that clarity piece is really important to sit at the top of your group. And a video is really good because it's a connection with you. You know, social media is people. So we need to get over our phobia of not being in front of the camera. You can use PDFs. And one of my clients did actually use a PDF, and he took them to an opt-in. Okay, but just be aware the opt-in puts another barrier up, because you're not going to get everybody opting in to watch content. But he wanted to build this list. That was a priority for him. So the clarity piece is a simple video of what you do, who you help, but it's got to cover six main aspects. Okay, it's got to cover like who it's for, the promise of value, what they're going to get. It's got to cover, you know, why they need to listen to you, why your system's easy, and, you know, not just easy, but it doesn't take that long. You know, we're not going to spend 6 hours on social media. It's also got to overcome their objection of their own self-belief. You know, people often believe they can't do things. So you need to smash those dominoes down within that clarity piece. Okay, so I'm here to tell you about the ecosystem, not teach you every part of it, because I do that with my premium students, and I do cover a lot of ground in my $17 a month program. But the clarity piece is a really important evergreen post at the top of your group, okay, that we direct people to when they come into the group. We show them they need to watch this, they need to watch this. But the clarity piece is a really important part of your group. Okay, your weekly workshops, or they can be bi-weekly. You don't have to do them every week. In fact, I was doing once a month and then just going live in my group occasionally. And I've got my post that goes out on a Wednesday as well. The whole idea is you're building, Facebook knows you're putting content out there on a regular basis, but not too often. You're ticking all the right boxes. So it really is an ecosystem. That's what I'm trying to get across to you today. You've got your group members, bringing in the right people. We're naming it the right group, because I was going to say to you, there's 2 clients of mine. One is bereavement coach, Seamus Walsh, you may be watching, but he focused on healing after losing a parent. So that's really niche down. Okay, he knew who to focus on. He knew what his messaging should be. His group is called that. So everything was really, really specific. So his group, you know, is people trying to look for his group on Facebook. You know, it's pretty easy to find. If you just lost a parent, losing parents' grief, you know, you're going to feel a lot of grief, and he can be easily found. Okay, another client of mine, she is a psychiatrist. I run ads for her because I do run a lead agency for coaches, run ads for coaches and service providers. She can help so many people on different things, but we honed it down to her helping busy professional women, like in corporate jobs, who are arguing with their spouse, and how to heal from the arguing, how to heal your inner trauma and get on with your spouse more, so you're not arguing every day, not bickering over who's done the most work and who's done the most housework, and all that stuff that happens when you have kids. So she defined very much who she helps, and she is doing really, really well. I mean, she's a different story because well, I'm not saying she's a different story, but she may be or may not be at the same level as some of you coaches. Some of you may be doing stormily well. Some of you may just started out. She's been going quite a long time. She's got a high-end program, and her ads, like, we're spending quite a lot of money on her ads because she's running these workshops in January. But we focused on the one message for one person, and her ads are coming in something like $3 an opt-in, which the average is about $10 to $15 an opt-in. So, we're not talking about opt-ins here today, but we are talking about a very simple organic ecosystem. So what we're doing next, we've got our emails, we've got our workshops, we've got a clarity piece. We know how to sell a messenger, okay? Whether it's either a low ticket or a high ticket, that's for another workshop, but we can then start running these budget ads. And I'm not saying you have to rush to do the answers straight away. You don't have to. Some people love to get on with the ads. Now they think, I've got this extra money, I want to speed things up. And they can speed things up, but they're not necessary at the beginning. They're not necessary to get you, to the first 3 to 5 clients every month. So I hope that gives you a really good flavour of the system you can implement into your coaching business, which compounds over time to give you that consistency that you need when it comes to get clients. Because you don't want to turn around one day and your pipeline's empty. We want to make sure that's always full. And it is easy. It's easy and it's simple, but you just got to know how to do it. So that's what we cover in my $17 a month program. We take from the beginning right through to monetizing your group.